Hi friends, it's Rabbi Briskin with a thought for Shabbat. Rabbi, I'm not a religious person, but I do good things and care about others. Does that still make me a good Jew? I am asked a version of this question frequently. Many come to me with a qualifying negative statement. Rabbi, I don't go to services, followed by an affirmation, but I am a good person, do good deeds, and care deeply about being Jewish. In many ways, questions like this get to the heart of the relationship between one's own ritual life and one's own ethical life. Let me explain. Judaism is comprised of 613 mitzvot. Some are positive, thou shalt. Some are negative, thou shalt not. Some are ritual, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Some are ethical, honor your father and mother. Many mitzvot aren't observed today because they were focused on what was done in the ancient temple in Jerusalem. However, for thousands of years, Jews have been governed by mitzvot. Now, Reform Judaism teaches that we are more guided and less governed by the mitzvot. We learn about them and why we perform them, but ultimately we choose what to observe based on our understanding of each mitzvah and the meaning we derive from performing them or not. In our community, following the ethical mitzvot comes easily to most. We care for the poor and vulnerable and are focused on doing good deeds. We may be less ritually observant in many ways, but our commitment to Jewish values through the way we treat others is vitally important. This week's portion, called Kiddushim, articulates some of the most important ethical mitzvot in all of Torah. Kiddushim reminds us to care for the poor and needy by leaving the corners of our fields for the hungry. It reminds us to not stand idly by while our neighbor bleeds. And, as the great sage Hillel teaches, all of the 613 mitzvot are derived from one central mitzvah found in this portion, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself, which for many sages is the most important mitzvah of them all. Now, while our focus may be on performing ethical mitzvot, it's important to not lose sight of the ritual commandments as well. We should experiment with observing in a personally meaningful way some of the ritual commandments that accompany the ethical commandments, all of which make us holy. Experiment with personal prayer. Make conscious decisions about what you eat. Incorporate Torah study into your week. Recognize Shabbat and mark it in some way with ritual, lighting candles, saying motzi. The blend of ritual and ethical is a pathway to holiness because, as Rabbi Bradley Shavit Artson teaches, ritual without ethics becomes cruel, ethics without ritual becomes hollow. So friends, may we create lives guided by the commandments, the ritual and the ethical. May our performance of these mitzvot fill our days. May our lives be imbued with a deep and profound sense of holiness. May we find meaning and purpose in all of the mitzvot, the ethical and the ritual, that we endeavor to observe each and every day. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.